Hello everyone, it is the build-up show. Yes, we are here once again. It is Liverpool in the Champions League taking on Ajax, the mighty Ajax at Anfield. I'm Paul Machin. I'm joined by Chris Pajak and by Ross Chandley for this one. We've got a load of things to discuss, least of all how Liverpool managed to field enough players with the mounting injuries. Obviously, we know Klopp's press conference is a little later in the afternoon. Hopefully more will be clearer by then. But we're just going to talk around the wider issues and stuff and who we think is likely to be available for this game. But before I dive into all of that, we have got a brand new sponsor. I want to say a massive thanks to eToro for sponsoring Redmen TV. They sponsor a number of Premier League clubs, so you may have seen the logo, but not know who they are. eToro is a global investment platform with over 16 million registered users, which offers everything from stocks, currencies and commodities to cryptos like Bitcoin. If, like me, you don't have the time to invest, then you can use the eToro CopyTrader feature, so you can now copy top performing investors, meaning when they make a trade, you can make the same trade automatically at no additional cost. In layman's terms, you can invest while getting on with your everyday life. If you thought about investing, then be sure to use eToro. Use the link in the description to learn more about eToro. Yes, get involved. Whenever you get involved with this, it makes us look really good. So make us look really good by having a little click through of the link in the description. Gents, hi.
Hi.
Yes, Liverpool, Ajax. Chris, we've just finished talking about the weekend game, and here we are once again barreling straight into the next game of football. I mean, as with all these things, when you're in poor form, normally the rule follows. You just want to get back on the horse quickly and do that. This is probably
a little too fast this time around.
Yeah. Just have the horse have a sit down so we can climb on its back quite safely this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so difficult this stage of the season at the moment, isn't it, with the injuries and everything else. And yeah, we can't forget about this game. This is a massive game. You know, we win this, and we get a midweek off almost next week against Midtjylland. And it's like, what does Klopp do? Does Klopp just go, this is the harder game, I'm going to essentially leave this, I'm going to field the weakest possible side and bank all in on Midtjylland next week instead? Or does he go, I just got to get the result here and hopefully have a free game next week?
When we looked ahead at the fixtures, Ross, this was the game week that was one of our trickiest, because the Leicester City game was separated by an international break, traditionally speaking, because of course everything we know about footy's got out the window post-COVID, or during COVID I should say. But Ajax followed by Wolves. That is a really tough set of fixtures, and you're right. We had difficulty last week when we were talking about how do you preference, what do you preference, and clearly there's margins to this. But I think we had a stronger side for Brighton than we did for Atalanta, so we chose the Premier League over this. Chris is right. A win against Ajax will confirm our qualification for the last 16, but it won't confirm that we're top of the group. We'll still need to do something next week anyway. And the Wolves game is a massive game of football against a very tough team that we've had some very, very tough games against recently as well. And this is an absolute nightmare of a selection for the manager for this one.
Yeah, and the word preference, I think, is slowly dwindling and going out the window because of the people that are available to us. You know, we can say this is a slightly stronger side, but in real terms, is it that much different? You know, what his options are to field tomorrow night and on Sunday. I think the saving grace is the fact that Wolves game has been moved to Sunday night. You know, from what Klopp's been saying, it makes a huge difference. It was Saturday 3 o'clock. We've got a Tuesday night game. The gap for people to recover in terms of, you know, from last midweek to Brighton is a lot more. And one thing that I'm quite confused of, Klopp was kicking off about the heart of against Brighton, was a shorter time to this game for people to recover, which is just fucking mental. You know, why would they go and do that? I think he'll take second spot in the group. I don't think he'd be happy with it. I don't think that will be his preference, as we're saying. But just to get through this group stage in the situation that we're in, with the fixtures that we've got, with the news that we've got, just take it and see where you're at Midtjylland. Yeah. We take it game by game, it's a cliche, but we have to.
In normal years, and certainly in past years, coming second is just as bad for you sometimes as coming first in your group, isn't it? But this year, it certainly looks like you want to finish first, because it doesn't look like we're going to have as many teams in that second pot where you go, oh, I don't want to play them. I think this year is probably, it's evening and out. It's like,
do you want to talk through them? Because I think it's an interesting point. So a Group A at the moment, Bayern top, Atletico second. Group B, Mönchengladbach top, Real Madrid second in that group. Man City top, Porto second. Obviously, we wouldn't get City regardless because of country protection. Chelsea, Sevilla, Dortmund, Lazio, Barca, Juventus. I mean, there's no doing one way out of that one, no matter what happens. United, PSG. So, actually, as it stands, I think it's kind of much of a muchness, really, isn't it? There's still a couple of really good teams you'd be looking to avoid if you finish second. But
the big one for me is I just wouldn't want to play Bayern.
Yeah.
Like all the others, I'm not really that arsed about. Bayern are the one that I just want to be in the same pot as them to make sure that I'm not able to get them. All the others we can beat.
Yeah. No, it is an interesting point. And the thing about me about the Midtjylland one, I know we talk about this like free hits and all this kind of stuff. Again, this isn't for me. I think we'll want to. I think Klopp will want to top the group. I don't think we'll go weak against Midtjylland. And just that the thing is that you're naturally able to go with a weaker side against them because they are a weaker side. Because we saw it. We put a pretty weak side out at Anfield, didn't we? We managed to get the results ultimately in that one. But it's the breathing room. Not beating Atalanta means that these two games naturally have to be more competitive. But yeah, you're right, and you're not wrong in saying it's not the end of the world if we don't win this game. It would be very Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp in particular to take it down to the last game of the group. But yeah, the aim here has got to be. Well, I say it's got to be, but there's 4 games in the next 2 weeks.
Just get through it.
No. But that's what I mean. Is that
qualify is the aim?
Yeah,
qualify is the first aim. If you can finish top, brilliant. Qualify and stay top of the league. That's the aim.
Yeah. And you can obviously afford to go strong in both the remaining games if the league isn't so tight. I'm not suggesting that he'd throw a Premier League game for whatever reason, but trying to balance the injury list that we've got and people that are fit that are playing 3 games within a week. If you've got a 6, 9, 10 point gap in the Premier League, I think it makes your decisions slightly easier. But because things are so tight in the Premier League, and we have all those injuries and everything else, we're back of a defeat and a draw. You want to separate you as much as you can in the Premier League as well.
I wonder whether, and it just kind of came to me while we were talking, because we did heavily rotate for the last 2 games in different ways. And some of it, we've got no choice. Some players just going to have to continue to go again, or some players might have to come back off the injured list a little bit quicker than we would ideally like. But get through this week, and you've got Midtjylland Wednesday, Fulham on the Sunday, which are far more winnable games of football. And I do wonder whether we've rotated last week so that we go stronger for both games this week, Chris, because we are slightly fortunate. Yes, we forget this sometimes, that every game is linked. So we forget that just because it's a new game week doesn't mean it's not 3 days since we last played. But Tuesday to the late kickoff on the Sunday is as close to a break as we're likely to get at this point. That's the most favourable those fixtures could have fallen. So I do wonder whether we'll go strong for this, and then we'll see who's able to pick themselves up for Sunday and go strong again.
That's it, isn't it? And it's so difficult for us because we don't know who's in the red and who's not at the moment. Now, if there's 4 or 5 players in the red going into this game, then you don't want to select them. And it doesn't really matter that there's a 5-day gap after the game, because if they're in the red and they play another 90 minutes, there's a chance you get another muscle injury, isn't there? So everything's just got to be... I think the sports scientists are earning the money this season. And it looks like right now they're not doing a good job. They might be doing a fantastic job. Yeah. And we just don't know it.
They will be. We've got the best in the world when it comes to all that, when it comes to sports science and rest, recovery, training, nutrition, all of these things. We've been absolutely... I feel sorry for it was Chris Morgan who's come back, and who's there's a little sly undercurrent of people who were aware of that, who were going, he was at Arsenal and now he's come back to us, and now all our things are all going, all players are getting down. It's probably just circumstantial more than anything else. But no, you're right, they're definitely winning the money. We had a super chat coming from Mitchell B, 50 Australian dollars. Wow.
Whoa.
He had a dream last night. You lads convinced me to fly to Anfield from Australia, showed me round, and then blamed me as we watched the 2-2 draw with Sunderland. Would do it again. Also,
sounds like us, to be fair.
Sounds about right. Also, please give Wijnaldum a rest. Yeah, Genie, look, Chris, the Milner thing, as if we needed another warning sign. Andy Robertson, Wijnaldum, Milner, these have all played a lot of football. Wijnaldum more than most as well. He's been very resistant to injury. He's been very good for us over the years. But look, we're having to rely on certain people. I do wonder whether this is the game. I just don't know. It's a great idea. I would love to give Gini Wijnaldum a rest. It's going to be dependent on who's fit.
Yeah,
because at the moment we don't have anyone else who can play.
Hendo coming back helps, but playing 45 minutes and then 2.5 days later playing 90 minutes doesn't help. You know, you want to be able to bring people in 45 minutes, and then maybe it's a case of Hendo gets 45 and Wijnaldum gets 45 in this, and you sort of manage both their minutes in this one. Kurt Jones will go back into the side. I think that takes a big weight off, and then it's a question of who goes with him, because it's not going to be James Milner. Obviously, Fabinho, you're probably thinking is going to start centre half unless we see Reece Williams again, but you could move Fabinho into the centre of the park to give us a little bit of an option there. Man, and who's playing right back? I mean, is it Nico Williams again?
Who else is there?
All things,
Well,
all things we'll
isn't it?
discuss. All things we'll discuss after the break. But yeah, there's a lot of in-depth conversation that must be happening at the AXA Training Centre today.
New Melwood.
Not Melwood.
Not Melwood.
Not Melwood. Yeah, Ajax, just a little note on them. They've been unstoppable since we played them last time around.
Yippee!
5 games they've played in the league. They've won all 5. They've conceded 2 goals, and they've scored 31 goals in that time.
It's okay. We've got a makeshift defence.
It's absolutely fine, isn't it? Yeah, it's not fine. Top of the Eredivisie, they've scored 22 more goals than second place Vitesse Arnhem. So yeah, they've been in there.
hell.
Yeah, I know. Well, they had that game where they scored 13 against VVV, didn't they? Which absolutely, it's a bit like when we go, well, our defensive record's not good. Well, we didn't concede 7 to Aston Villa, so yeah, there is that. But no, they've been irresistible.
I wonder if like the WhatsApp groups I'm in all went mental during that night. You know, when the WhatsApp. The more messages get sent when these random results come round, because everyone's just talking about them all over the place, aren't they?
Well, it becomes world news, doesn't it, in some regards? Yeah, we're going to be discussing a little bit about what choices we do have available to us, who's likely to play at the back, and what do we do with the situation around right back. After this very short break, we've got a wonderful documentary, a brand new in-depth documentary looking at the rise and fall of Brendan Rodgers, which you can have a little check out of now. I've got a trivia question to tide you over as well to keep you coming round. Name the 5 former Liverpool players to play for both Liverpool and Ajax. We'll be back in a second.
A tale of what might have been, really.
You know, a young up-and-coming manager from Swansea.
Brendan Rodgers will be taking over the Liverpool hot seat.
Brendan is a top manager for me.
Incredible highs.
Liverpool are playing some of the best football anyway.
Some of my most enjoyable days.
No doubt there was a tinge of jealousy. I think everyone felt Liverpool were going to go on and win the title.
Unbelievable lows.
He deserves so much, you know, to win a title.
It was the worst thing that could have happened for Liverpool in that time.
It was always going to be difficult to replace him.
Liverpool as a club wasn't competing.
Everything went wrong there at the end.
It kind of deteriorated that relationship.
Liverpool have decided to terminate the contract of manager Brendan Rodgers.
It was difficult for Brendan.
Brendan was learning on the job.
Great coach, fantastic training sessions on the training pitch.
I was proud to be part of it.
Yes, welcome back. If you're watching this live or you are watching this and taking this in or listening to it in podcast form on Monday, we've got a Cyber Monday deal for you guys to get a Redmen TV subscription, which means you can get access to the Brendan Rodgers doc and our incredible suite of content, loads of documentaries, interviews with Liverpool legends, past and present, and we've got every aspect of Liverpool covered on and off the pitch throughout the season. Loads and loads of bonus shows, so you can get them in video form and you can get them in podcast form as well. So if you like to listen to us on the go, you get all that stuff in podcast form as well. Go when you sign up on the redmentv.com, use the code RedmenCyber20, all caps, Redmen Cyber, CYBER, and then the number 20 for 20% off your monthly subscription to it. And if you, again, it's perfect time to support us as well as you head into Christmas. We don't like to say, you know, just pay for it, whatever. We like to make sure we give you loads of value for money, and yeah, we've got some amazing content on there to keep you tided over when whether you're working from home and pretending to work, or whether you want to stay away from the family over the festive period. We've got you back, don't you worry. Right, the question before the break was name the 5 former Liverpool players to play for both Ajax and Liverpool. You had a couple there. You want to shout them out?
Yeah, we got Babel.
Babel.
We got Suarez.
Suarez, 2.
Littman
in 3.
Babel.
We said Babel.
Literally just said Babel 3 seconds earlier.
Zenden.
No.
Didn't?
No.
Okay.
Plays Dutch.
Plays for PSV.
Plays Dutch.
Plays for PSV.
Fuck. You said Eric
I
Meyer.
threw Meyer in at the end, but I'm not sure.
Nope. But yeah, good to go through the Dutch. Neither of the players is Dutch, although one of them is currently involved with the setup. We made a big joke about it the other week. Christian Poulsen is one.
Is he Dutch?
No.
I'm joking.
Jan Molby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good one that. I really enjoyed that. Right, yes, let's get
Never
into it then.
being a millionaire. Or Poulsen. Never got Poulsen.
Yeah,
in a million
Poulsen
years.
is so fun. It's funny that, isn't it? You look like, some really
I
big
did
names,
say,
isn't
though,
it?
one of the
Yeah.
fucking Hodgson centre midfielders, I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Rodgers.
No, I said Hodgson.
Okay.
Yeah. Are they Dutch? Right.
Because he's shit. That's
We
why they're
are very fast running out of choices here, Chris. I think the right back one more than anything. Obviously, we saw Nico withdrawn at half time. I think tactically, I think you can make the case that it was tactical. You can make the case that it was to protect him, that he'd not had a good game, depending which way you want to look at it. Let's hope it was just tactical and Nico's made of iron mentally, because there's a chance he has to go again. Beyond that, everything we do, this is the conversation of the month. Every decision we make now, when you're looking at backups on backups, is dependent upon who's actually available in other positions. Because you'd put a midfielder in there, but if we got enough midfielders,
No.
you could put a centre half in there, but we haven't got any centre halves. So, I mean,
You could play Fabinho, Reece, Fabinho right back, Reece and Matip as the centre backs. I can't imagine he'd do that.
and we're short on midfielders, so there's a chance we might need Fabinho for the middle of the park in addition to this.
It feels like if he wants to win the game, the only midfield options that he's got available to him are Henderson, Wijnaldum and Kurt Jones.
Yeah.
And and everything else is just, fill in from there. I think you'll have to start with the midfield, to be honest, in this game. I think you go, who are we midfield 3? Them 3. Right. That leaves me these players to make up the rest of the side.
If Gini Wijnaldum plays and doesn't get injured in this game, there's a massive gamble we're taking on his fitness here. And and again, I know when you look again, we've got no choice. We've got to look around at who's physically capable of withstanding it, who's most likely to do it. You're not throwing, you wouldn't throw badly injury-prone players into these situations if you can help it. But if we lose a Wijnaldum in this, I don't know where he gets a game off, unless the thinking is someone else will be available for the weekend, which will take the pressure off. Down the line. Well, no, I'm not even talking about him at this point. I'm just gonna. Thiago Alcantara doesn't play for Liverpool. I've come to the conclusion that we just signed him as a social media presence. He's like our social media manager, and that's what we signed him for. And I'm made up with that. That's great. I don't think we've actually signed him.
Might be overpaid him.
Yeah, maybe a smidge. Yeah. He just wanted an easier life. He wanted less time. Just go and just wait for LFC TV, lad. Because again, the midfield conversation is a conversation that is impacted by the centre back conversation. Because I think this week we'll go Matip and Fabinho. I think we'll put our best defence out for this week, because the two big teams that can cause us real problems, which then leaves you short elsewhere on the pitch. The ones that I work for me, pick a fullback.
Yeah.
Nico Williams is available, so he's there. And the alternative is Kostas Tsimikas.
I'd move Robbo to the right,
or Robbo.
But yeah, I think that's a genuine option for us, isn't it? I think you're right with the centre halves. I think Matip and Fabinho would, generally speaking, be the pairing, judging by what happened in the previous games. The fact that he gave Matip it off, the fact that Fabinho didn't start last week as well, makes me think that it means they can go again here, they can go again on Sunday against Wolves. Sound. Then you pick up the injury to James Milner, and I wonder whether that changes his thinking slightly. For me, I would really like to see a midfield of Fabinho with Henderson and Kurt Jones, and just give Gini Wijnaldum that one game off here. Is that what he's going to do? Does he feel more comfortable playing Reece and Matip with Fabinho in front? He might do. That might be an option for him. Will he play Reece Williams and Nico Williams on that side again? I don't like the sound of it, but he might do it.
Ajax are, like we said, in free scoring attacking mode. I think they've scored 5 in the last 2 league games coming into this. And again, different level of opposition, all that kind of stuff notwithstanding. You want as many of your best players on the pitch as possible. And this is the issue. I wonder whether we build from the defence forwards. And it's so Fabinho, Matip, again, let's say Fabinho, Matip have to start. It still doesn't answer your right back conversation. Do you put a senior lad in? Do you put, again, who's available from midfield? Because put Gini Wijnaldum in right back, put Henderson in right back, do whatever. But
is there a formation we can play which gives a bit more protection to the...
It's like with 2 midfielders, you think in front of the defence.
Yeah, and then maybe, someone's got a bit more attacking.
No, I don't think so.
And then a 3 in front of them.
Yeah,
somehow,
maybe, and then just someone up top,
What would you call that formation?
Christmas tree.
Liverpool, this is it. We've seen Liverpool use 4-2-3-1. We've seen them use that 4-4-2-ish one once. Yeah. Klopp has also said there's no time for us to be doing mad tactics and mad things. We'll probably try our best to stick with what the team plays best in. But again, it feels where we've got options, we've got too many lads at the moment. Thank heavens, to play in the front 3 positions, which is why I think you see Taki Minamino play midfield at the weekend, is because someone's gonna need to start doing things like that to make up the shortfall in midfield. We're lucky that we've got. You're right, Kurt Jones is fresh, so I can't see how he doesn't come back into this game, although he did struggle against Ajax in the first game. But young players, they can make massive strides forward. You want the Leicester performance out of Kurt, and if you get that, then he'll have a very, very good game in this. Jordan Henderson will, if he's available, he will undoubtedly be straight in this team. Can you play Gini Wijnaldum once more? If you can, then he goes in. If you can't, then I think we probably have to change. We probably do have to change formation, or you're asking Bobby, Taki, or whoever to play in midfield.
Ask Jota to do the what Taki was doing, and you play the whole front four. Would Jones?
I'd rather Bobby do that,
Well, you're playing those front four, which is interchangeable anyway. But then you that frees up your midfield a little bit because you can put Hendo and Jones in there, and then you can put Fabinho in defence, and you're not playing 2 kids on one side of the midfield, which is going to be a target. It's a tough position. I
mean, the simplest one really is, I think Robbo left back, because he's your best left back by a mile, obviously. And you're able to do what you do, continue to do what you do down the left hand side with him. Fabinho, Matip, I would just chuck Tsimikas in at right back. I know he's probably not fit, and you might need to rotate him out later on in the game, but he's still a fullback, and you're not undermining, you're not having a less of a Robbo and a guy who doesn't understand your system playing at left back on top of that.
At least you're getting 100% out of Robbo, aren't you?
Absolutely. Chuck Tsimikas in there and swallow it that you have to play a left-footed player on the right-hand side. Which would be like, no one's asked when it's right wing.
Yeah, Miller played left back for
Exactly. But people for some reason do it with left-footers. It's mad.
We don't trust you.
No, I know. It's mad, isn't it?
I'm left-footed as well. Yeah, I don't know why I said use.
Yeah. You're a left-foot traitor. But yeah, I'd just do that because he's a senior age player and he is a fullback by trade. And so many teams, and I don't know if this is true on Ajax, so I'm just throwing this point out there, but I don't know if they play inverted up front anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of a big deal to play a guy on his wrong foot in at fullback. And then who's available in the midfield? Again, I'd like to give Gini a day off.
What I would do here, if I was playing Footy Manager, I'd be playing.
Which you are
this afternoon
on our Red Men Twitch
exactly channel. 3 o'clock, twitch.tv/the RedMen TV. What I would be doing is I would be playing Wijnaldum, I'd be playing Henderson, I'd be playing Kurt Jones, and I would be giving them an extra day off after this game. So instead of the 2 days recovery, once more, please, one more time, get in there, and you get 3 days off. And that's how you sort of mask the issues of playing again. And maybe I'd give Wijnaldum 5 days off. I'm not sure he's played that much footy.
But you're not playing Football Manager. What would you do now?
Well, probably be sat here talking about it, about what Klopp would do. But I think Paul's right. I think Matip and Fabinho have to start in this game together at the back. I'm not sure whether Tsimikas at right back or Nico Williams, pick your poison, as far as I'm concerned. And that sounds it in a bad way. I don't mean it in that way. Nico Williams is a right back, and I'd rather have a right back there than a left back.
Well, in this situation, because then it's like, you go in, because I'm thinking, who else have you got? And my immediate term was like, who else have we got in the academy? It's like, if we've got a lad in the academy, he's worse than Nico Williams. You know what I mean? So we either have to, and I don't think Klopp would give his arse. Nico's there, and he will continue to trust players to the best of his ability. I think. I just think it's an impossible choice because Ajax are a wonderful attacking team, and we got very lucky in that game away. We were very, very lucky. They fucking battered us for long periods of that game, and we were able to bring the big boys on. And you used the big boys, and then we switched things up, and we got lucky with the goal and all that kind of stuff. It was a smash and grab. They're gonna even though we're at home, we're gonna be on the back foot. I think for lots of this game, you want solidity. Nico Williams it's down to Klopp's trusting him, and if he trusts him, then again, nothing to do. We're just gonna have to swallow it and enjoy it and make our peace with it, because nothing we can do about it. We're not in the ground to cheer him or support him, so we're just gonna have to fucking shut the fuck up about it and get on with it. If he trusts him, He's either going to be a good enough right back for us or he's not. And the only way for that to find out is to play football matches. If he doesn't play in these games, that's also fine. It doesn't necessarily write his career off, but I could understand why you might want to go with someone else. It's James Milner all day long, but James Milner's injured.
Yeah, there's no way Klopp plays him again unless he's forced to play him again, I think. Because I think he'd want to protect him mentally after the weekend, after pulling him off. Or is it a case of, get back on the horse type of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he plays tomorrow, but he doesn't play against Wolves. Another attacking threat, will obviously target Nico Williams.
Wolves' strength is all down the flanks in that team now, and it's particularly obviously because Raul Jimenez is going to be out, which obviously we wish him a very speedy recovery from that. But that's where their threat is going to be. So you're right. But again, it still comes down to it. Who the fuck else?
But then you've got Nat Phillips you can put into that back line. But then you can put Fabinho at right back. You can put Henderson at right back. He's not ideal, but he's more ideal than having Nico Williams up against a Wolves side. So you play 90 today. You played 45 at the weekend. You play vigilant.
You're better off putting a left-footed left back at right back, or moving Fabinho, who has played right back but clearly fucking hates it. As Klopp was clearly pointed out as well. He's like, he's not. No, not for him. But again, we're left with options. The reality of the situation is the reality of the situation, and we might be left with Matip, Reece Williams, and Fabinho. And this is all being said. It's still like a day till the game. Who knows, Joel Matip? Who knows? We're told he was rested. Maybe
Could you trick Fabinho into playing right back and say, lads, today we're going with a 4 at the back, 4 centre halves. You're playing the furthest right of the centre halves, Fabinho.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Like competitive Pez, just like it was 4 centre back. Yeah, no, you're playing as a wide centre back. Yeah, just get in there. Shut up.
Okay, boss, no problem.
Well, someone's going either Nico Williams, and this might be just we might be having this conversation for nothing because he's our next in line right back, and he just plays because he is our other right back. He's our third choice right back. He just plays this game. Probably does. He probably does just play this game. But past that, we're entering into someone's going to have to do a job for the team. Yeah,
in normal cases, that's just Milner, isn't it? But unfortunately, no Milner.
I think he plays this game, but I also think Reece Williams might play it as well. And that's not what I want. But again, you're trying to manage a team that's going to play Wolves on Sunday night at the same time. And it comes down to that midfield. Now, Fabinho, Henderson, Curtis Jones is probably the likely or my ideal midfield. But at what cost of the defence is the problem?
You've got the subs to make, I think. So, I don't know whether you want to go one way or the other. Well, you've got Reece Williams on the bench, is what I'm saying. Okay. Is that I don't think you start. Ajax could have us blown away in half an hour. But also, do you want a backs-to-the-wall performance throwing a teenager on into that? But then again, I'm talking around this. Maybe by that point in the game, you're going 3 at the back for the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. We've seen that, the old Matip substitution, isn't it? And you just park on everything behind. So for me, maybe it is that situation where you go as strong as possible. Okay. And if you have to bring Reece Williams into it late on to make sure Matip doesn't overwork himself, or Fabinho doesn't overwork himself, fine. We'll go as strong as possible in the attacking sense. I think you're not going to keep Mo Salah out this game. You're not going to keep Mane out this game, but then maybe either 1 or 2 from Jota, Firmino. That should be fine down the other end. We can put a good team out. If you put the right back notwithstanding, Robertson, Fabinho, Matip, not in that order. Nico Williams at right back, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Jones, and then 2, 3 from 4 from the front lads. that's a brilliant team. Still, it's back to Leicester again.
And that's what skews that Ajax form. They want to play their front three like ours, and they'll be concerned with that, particularly with Salah came off at the weekend, and he was pissed off as well. That's fired him up for this game, I think.
Agree, and Mo Salah's going to be chomping at the bit to get involved in this game. And then look again, just in terms of the injuries, hopefully Trent's not too far away. No one has a clue what's going on with Shaqiri again. Milner, no chance of Milner. Naby again, no talk of Naby. If it's a hamstring again, you're talking a couple of weeks till he's available. Thiago Alcantara doesn't play for Liverpool. We've established that at this point. We got that great welcoming video from him. It was almost worth it. I think we just did that just to
Do you think they really like the new setup at the Ajax training stadium, and they just would prefer to fucking be there instead? I'm injured. I've done me leg again. Let's stay here for a few weeks.
He's just loving walking around the Baltic markets and Baltic Triangle, and just having a cool time and playing with his kids and all that. Good life. You can get it. So no, I have no expectations on Thiago returning for this one. Oxlade-Chamberlain is on his way back, but it's going to be too soon for him. So it'll be what it'll be. Liverpool, that's another game where we just need
We've got so many players out there.
What about
So
Gomez and Van Dijk?
many.
What exactly? What about Gomez and Van Dijk?
We
What
just
do you want to
never
say
mentioned.
about
Just
them?
wanted to start to the list.
Yeah.
You never mentioned them.
Not even worth it, is it, at this point? It's shocking. I hate this because we're capable of putting out a strong team. It's all the unknowables, and I think, and this is one of those things we talk about, like Jürgen has to be kind of careful with, is that it's all in our own heads, and it's the lowering of expectations, and it's fair because it's not spouting bullshit. We can all see every time we take to the field another lad gets injured because of the circumstances around all of this. But we're more than capable of winning this game if we put a good team out. We're at Anfield. We've got loads of boss players. Even with injuries, we should still have more than enough for Ajax. It's just pick a sensible option for right back, and then everything else is fine. Really, I think we've
It's not that easy. Though,
no. But again, just play Nico Williams right back. Yeah. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. If he has a tough game, he has a tough game. Trent would have a tough game against players like that Ajax have got in the attacking positions. Shit happens. It's just about the rest of the team pulling together and the rest of the good lads doing the good things. Diogo Jota's got 9 goals in 14 games for us so far. He's averaging a goal every 88 minutes or something for us so far this season, and that counts the EFL Cup games, which were shite. We'll probably be fine, right? We will be probably fine. Let us know your thoughts on what you think the team should be, what you think the team would like to be. If you want to factor in fitness and all that kind of stuff, the Genie Wijnaldum, do you ask him to go again? And if so, when do you tell him he has to stop in the upcoming games?
Is null and void an option? Can we do that?
It should be. We're all coming out the tears. COVID's going away for a week in 3 weeks' time, isn't it? So it's
it's over Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Score predictions, Chris?
3-0 Liverpool. Hat-trick from the right back, whoever it is.
3-2 Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling one of them. I'll take a 3-2.
1 all. Okay. I'm saying real.
He's having the one result.
Real talk.
Real talk.
He's
got himself a pair of Jordan Bonds, and he's going.
Real talk.
Brilliant. Right, thank you so much for watching. Yes, I talk about this all the time, but if you want to support what we do, the free stuff on YouTube is funded by the people who subscribe to the redmentv.com. We give you loads of amazing content, but we understand that it's not for everyone, and obviously times are tight and people are making sure that they mind their money. It is Cyber Monday. There is 20% off both of our levels of subscription, so if you haven't got one yet, check it out. It's 20% off using the code RedmenCyber20 when you go to the sign up page on the redmentv.com. Get that Brendan Rodgers doc, get the final word show for this game. We were recording that on Wednesday, and there's loads of other amazing stuff. There's 2 interviews with Jürgen Klopp there. We've spoken to Liverpool players throughout lockdown, loads of really in-depth interviews, so keep yourself entertained on the go or sat at home as well. With 20% off. We love you guys. Hope to see you very soon. The starting 11 prediction will follow, and we'll be doing a watch along as well for this game, so do check that out. But other than that, gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see you all soon. Ta-ra.